Hello everyone, hopefully you're having a great day today. Merciless Vaughn here, back with another Bleach Brave Souls video, and in this one I want to talk about the 10th anniversary special Brave Souls News Live that's going to be starting in about less than 24 hours. And so yeah, just going to talk about that for a little bit. Hopefully you enjoy. If you do, leave a like. If you're new to the channel or you have been here for a while, please consider subscribing and help me get to 550 subscribers. Now with all that said, let's go ahead and get started. So first things first, so this notice, we got this last week and I'm just now covering it because, just to give you a reminder if you kind of forgot about it. But yeah, so the 10th anniversary special Brave Souls News Live will be starting, well, it says from tomorrow at 6 p.m. Japan Standard Time. I think that's probably going to be 5 a.m. for me since I'm in the States Eastern. So depending on where you are in the world, that time of the start will vary. And so basically, kind of like last month, they're going to be, I guess, showcasing the new characters that we're going to be getting for this month. Last month, we didn't get really noticed about the mid-month units until they did this live, and then obviously they showed the mid-month characters, that being the new, what were they called, Crescent version, Hollowed Ichigo and Ulquira. And so I guess this is just going to be the same thing this time around. We have the guests here, the voice actor of Ichigo, he's always there. And then we have the voice actor of the GOAT, aka Chair-sama, aka Sosuke Aizen, coming along here for this one. So that's great. And yeah, just other than that, that's pretty much it. Just some stuff that's going to be going on while the live is happening. And so yeah. So yeah, this will be happening tomorrow early in the day, depending on where you are in the world. Like I said, that will vary. Now, I guess we can just kind of speculate as to what some characters we could probably see tomorrow. Alright, so the first character I think we could possibly see get revealed tomorrow is this bankai Ichigo. This Ichigo is the only version of bankai Ichigo we have in the game. Yes, I just double checked. Triple checked, this is the only version of bankai Ichigo we have in the game. So getting a new one of these guys would definitely be very great in my opinion. And just because I'm thinking, since, well, the voice actor of Ichigo is always in the bankai lives, but Aizen is coming along as well, I do think the possibility of getting newer versions from that fight is definitely very high. I would like to see newer versions of this. We did get a newer version of Mugetsu Ichigo last year. We did get newer versions of the Ulquira and Grimjo from that fight. They were called the Crescent versions. Yeah, they were actually last month's 10th anniversary Bankai Live characters. So yeah, just the characters that come first to my mind is a new bankai Ichigo, because this, yeah, like I said, this is the only version we have. He's very old. He doesn't have a lot in his kit here, as you can see. Yeah. As far for what they could give him, obviously status element plus, I think they're going to give him that. Maybe a killer plus would obviously be good, and he could have a superior strong attack. Right now, there's only 3 units in the game that have those superior strong attack. 2025 1,000 Year Blood War version of Ichigo, he was the first one. I think it's the Drew skill that has one as well. And then the last mid-month's Ulquira that we got, he has a superior strong attack as well. So this Ichigo getting like a killer plus, status summit plus, and a superior strong attack is going to be great as well. As for what the killer could be, I have no idea. They can usually try to make characters that are going to be helpful for like the upcoming guild quest. So whatever the next affiliation guild quests are going to be, you can probably take a guess as to what those will be. You can probably look in, actually we can do that ourselves. Let's just go to guild quests very quickly just to see what are the upcoming, I guess, affiliation stages, to take a guess at what the characters killers might be. And so let's see here. So for, I guess this one starts after the Bankai Live. We have Range Captain Killer. Range Captain Killer is definitely could make sense for maybe not so the Ichigo, but maybe for the Hyohyoku Aizen. He could probably get this. And then for the next one, Stern Ritter. Stern Ritter, I don't know if that will make much sense for any of those units, but I think maybe Range Captain Killer is definitely more of a reasonable killer to give one of those units, really. So anyways, yeah, a new version of this guy is definitely long overdue. And obviously we have to get, if Dangai Ichigo is going to release, we have to get the guy that fought him, which is this version of Aizen. Honestly, this, like I mentioned before, this is the only version of the Aizen that we have, I think. Actually, no, I don't think this is the only version. I think there's another one, if I'm not mistaken. No, yeah, I think this is the only version of this Aizen that we have. And honestly, if you think about it, this kind of misleading in his art, because they have this Aizen right here and then his transform state in the background. Kind of same thing with the Dangai Ichigo, but if you look at his Soul Bomb, he doesn't have the transformation mechanic. So really, like getting a Dangai Ichigo and this Hyogoku Aizen that kind of like start off as this, then use their Soul Bomb and transform, that would be pretty cool. I would like to see that. So yes, getting these two units, I think is a very, very high possibility. It would make sense. I mean, these units are so old. It could honestly be. I do think that is another hype moment in Bleach, and probably one of the best fights in the Bleach series. Just this fight right here. And since we kind of got the Okira and Ichigo fight the last time they did one of these, it would kind of make sense to get one of these newer versions of these guys as well. And this guy, he is ranged. Yeah, they could give this guy the ranged Captain Killer. Maybe give him Killer Plus as well. If not Killer Plus, you just give him 2 like killers. Any unit nowadays that really doesn't have the Killer Plus is just kind of really going to be at a disadvantage in like high difficult levels of Guild Quest, because the Killer Plus is just way too strong. Just way too strong. I do think both units, or whatever units they are going to release, are going to be strong attack units. They're terrified to make strong NAD units, let alone ranged NAD units, just because they're going to be too OP. But as for the first set of characters, I do think newer versions of the Dangai Ichigo and this Aizen are definitely probably the most likely. Now, some other units we could see from this Bankai Live is probably this version of Ichigo. I mean, it's probably less likely since we did just get this. I mean, this is the Ichigo that fought against Grimmjow and Hucho Mundi when Nail and Orihime were watching that fight. But this guy, he's only coming up on a year old now, so we could get newer versions of this, but it's very likely since these guys are coming up on only a year old. But it's still a possibility. I mean, just better and stronger versions of these units. These guys were actually mid-month units last year, so getting, I guess they will be mid-month units again this year, but since they are going to be in the premium pool selection. But just getting a newer and stronger version of this would be okay, but less likely, like I mentioned, because they only came out a year ago. And yeah, this is just the version of Grimmjow that came out with that Ichigo that you just previously saw. Yeah, so just wanted to show off these guys just because it is a possibility, but probably not as likely as the first set of characters I chose, just because these guys only came out a year ago. Now, a crazy, just out of field left option here that I'm just gonna have like put up next is this Kugo right here. Why not get newer versions of this guy? Like, why not get versions of the Ichigo and Kugo that fought like at the end of the series when it was first airing? I wouldn't mind getting some newer versions of these. I mean, he might not be too popular for some people, but I don't see why not. I mean, we don't have many versions of this guy right here, so I don't see, like, just why not give him a newer version? I mean, he could definitely use it. This guy's a few years old at this point. I mean, just looking at his skills, he is a ranged unit. He does have his resurrection, doesn't he? Oh, does he not have his resurrection? No, he doesn't. So he doesn't even have a resurrection. But I mean, honestly, yeah, why not just make a newer version of this guy and a version of the Ichigo that fought him? I don't even think we have a version of that Ichigo that fought Kugo. Actually, no, because we really don't. Because the version of the Ichigo, the closest thing we have to that Ichigo is... Oh wait, who is it actually? Yeah, I think it's this guy. And he doesn't technically count because he's a... What is he, the 2022 version of the Ichigo? Yeah, he came out when the anime first started airing back up. I think this is the only Ichigo we have that has his tats from the Fullbring arc. So like getting a new Kugo and like this version of Ichigo just from that arc and not like the 1000 Year Blood War version, I do think will be pretty cool actually. But anyway, those were like just some picks that I just kind of thought of out of left field, because maybe the new Dangai Ichigo and the Aizen that fought him, they couldn't be the characters. Heck, none of these characters that I just mentioned could also appear tomorrow. But these are just kind of like some suggestions that I have and that possibly could see. But the last two there would probably definitely be really out of left field, but I would like to see them actually. But yeah, that's really going to be it for this one. I just kind of wanted to talk about this 10th anniversary special Brave Souls news live that's going to be happening in less than 24 hours from now, really. I did kind of like just talk about my character predictions as to who we could see tomorrow. I do think the Dangai Ichigo and the Hyokyoku Aizen, that's a strong possibility. The other couple of units that I mentioned are probably on the lower side, but you know, would still be pretty cool and nice to see. But then again, none of the units that I just named could show up tomorrow. It could be some other units entirely. Heck, maybe Burn the Witch. Burn the Witch could probably just pop up, and I mean, it's been a while since we had one of those. But anyway, yeah, that's going to be it for this one. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Thank you for watching. And as usual, until next time.